Hello and welcome to another edition of Conspirator Buck's Pull List. This is my pull list for the week of June 3rd, 2015. Sorry for the delay and getting it up to. Normally I get it posted right around midnight on Tuesdays, Wednesday mornings. But due to recording late with the Comic Conspiracy, due to a epic Bryce briefly about the Hickman Avengers, New Avengers leading into Secret Wars, I just didn't have enough time and I was dead tired. So sorry again for the delay, so let's get into it. First up on my pull list, I only have 5 books that I actually purchased for my pull list that weren't variants. So yeah, first one up is Dead Drop, number 2. This is Exo Manowar mini, dealing with Exo Manowar taking on, trying to track down a deadly virus before it's released on a population. So first issue was interesting, so I'm going to keep checking it out. Next up, we have Imperium number 5. This is spun out of the Harbinger series. Really enjoyed the Harbinger series, and this one's been really good as well, so I'm curious to see where this goes. But Imperium 5. One of the titles I'm really looking forward to reading this week is Justice League 41, The Darkseid War Part 1. Jeff Johns and Jason Fabok are a great creative team. I cannot wait to see where Johns takes us with this story. And for those of you who read the Free Comic Day book, you should be really excited for this, as well as those of you that read Justice League 40. And if you haven't read 40, you should really go back and read it because it's amazing. So Justice League 41 is up. Next up is a book that I've been super excited to read issue 2 since April of 2011. was when issue 1 came out. It's a funny thing that this book took so long to come out, but the creator was very honest and upfront in saying that it was his first time doing comics, so on and so forth, and he wasn't sure if he'd be on a regular schedule. So at least he came out and said that early. I know he did have some things come up in his life that made it harder for him to finish doing the comic books and get them out on time. But I'm really excited to see number 2 of this, and that's Nonplayer number 2 by Nate Simpson. The first issue of this book was amazing. If you can find a copy of it, I highly recommend tracking one down, picking up issue 1 and 2, and reading Nonplayer, because it is amazing. Like, the art is beautiful. The guy is an artist in the gaming industry, or has a background in it. So, yeah, it's just, I'm really excited to see issue 2. So if you didn't already know that, you should. If you're following my Twitter, you know I already am excited for this. So, but Nonplayer number 2 is finally out. Now let's see how long it takes for issue 3 to come out. Next up is a new DC number 1 that I'm looking forward to, which is the Omega Men. I've always liked this group of characters. I've never read too much with them. They've shown up in Rebels, which I read and had bound, but I need to finish actually reading that. But I'm curious to see what the Omega Men look like now. Not sure where this is going to fall in the DC universe, if it's going to be kind of the standard, its current kind of new 52-ish DC, which is what Justice League is and Batman is and a couple other books, or if this is going to be an Omega Man told from a certain period of time in DC's history. So curious to see it, and yeah, so I got that one. So that's it for my pull list. I did pick up some variants today. 2 of the variants that I picked up are actually my reader copies. I would have had reader copies if there wasn't a variant. And the first one is Green Arrow number 41. It's Joker variant month, so I really liked this Joker variant cover. I thought it was awesome. So I'm going to be reading this book as well. So Green Arrow is also on my read list. And the other title that's also on my read list that I picked the Joker variant up for was Green Lantern number 41. Looks like Joker's gotten a hold of a yellow lantern or a Green Lantern ring. I don't know if they should have done a Green Lantern ring or if they should have done a yellow one. I don't know. But yeah, so I thought these were really awesome Joker variant covers, so I picked them up. But these are books that are on my read list, so I will be reading these copies to stay current. And then the other one Joker variant I picked up was the Justice League 41 Joker variant, which is just the whole Justice League smiling, minus Green Lantern. There's no Green Lantern in there. Curious, but yeah. So those are the variant covers I picked up. There was a couple other titles that had Joker variant covers on them. I can't remember them off the top of my head. None of the new books had Joker variants. I believe it was all the continuing books. So yeah, so those, so check it out. We didn't get very many copies. I think I took the last copy of Green Lantern and Green Arrow. So yeah, if you're interested in any of the variants from these variant months that DC's doing, please let your local comic shop know so they can order it for you. Or if you want, we do offer through the Comics Conspiracy. We were doing pre-orders for the June variants for Joker. So if you're curious and they're like, oh no, I'll pick up all the variants, go ahead and let Ryan know at the shop. He always posts on the Facebook page and stuff like that, the pre-order stuff that we do. So yeah. And moving on. I did pick up a graphic novel this week, Swamp Thing Volume 6, The Serene. This is the second to last trade, so there'll be one more coming out for Swamp Thing. Amazing, amazing series. I really enjoy going back and reading through it. Sad to see that it ended, but that's how things are. I know they're releasing a hardcover version of Scott Snyder's one, which is awesome, but I would want them to release a hardcover version for all of it. So, not too sure what's going on with that, but yeah, if anybody at DC Trade is listening, or anyone who knows anyone working in DC Trade, yeah, some of those things just do the hardcovers. So let's move on. So finally to my read list. These are titles that I read to stay current, and this is a huge stack, so I'm going to get through it as fast as possible. First up, we have Action Comics number 41. It's okay. It's better than it. You know, I'm reading it to stay caught up, but I'm really not sure if I'm going to stick with Action Comics. I'm not sticking with Superman anymore. It's by Romita Jr., and I don't really care. So we'll see if Action can keep my interest. If it can't, then bye-bye. Next up is a new number 1 from Image. It's called Airboy number 1. I figured I'd give it check it out. I think the first page has a guy sitting on the shitter, so you kind of always have to check out that book for some odd reason. But yeah, Airboy number 1. Next up is Amazing Spider-Man 18.1, Spiral Part 3. I've been reading Amazing Spider-Man, and I've been reading these .1 issues that come out, and the .1 issues are another story that's going on and stuff like that. And to me, it kind of feels like they should tell each story at its own time. I wouldn't care if they gave Dan Slott like a couple issue break, and then he comes back with his stuff. Kind of back in the day when they did it after One More Day, when the Brand New Day stuff was going out. They had multiple creative teams working on the title, and it was coming out on a regular basis, like 3 times a month. And then they throw out an extra, and the extra was kind of backstory on characters that were in the book, so you didn't necessarily need to pick up the extra issue. You didn't need to necessarily pick up all of the story arcs, but it was really kind of cool to see a big, huge thread running through. So it's a little jarring to have these .1s where it's, you know, kind of like, oh, well, we'll just take something that we could have put at the back of you know, Amazing Spider-Man 18 and charged you an extra $1, and we're going to exploit you for another $3. So, yeah, I don't know. Next up, we have Amazing Spider-Man Renew Your Vows number 1. This is a Secret Wars book. We'll see how it goes. Spider-Verse sucked ball sacks, so curious to see how well Spider-Man does in the Secret Wars universe. Next up, we have Armor Wars number 1, which, you know, this... People have buzzed that this is a good book, but looking at the cover art, I'm not too fond of it. And it's Robinson, so if that's James Robinson, cool. If not, I don't know, but we'll see. I haven't been overly impressed with the Secret Wars tie-in books so far. Most of them have felt subpar or not connected at all to what's going on in Secret Wars. So yeah. Next up, we have the Autumn Lands Tooth and Claw number 6. This is Kurt Busiek's Image book. About animal characters and a human champion. So we'll see where that one takes us. It's been good. That book has actually been delayed since it came out back in March. End of March is when it came out. So we've waited 2 full months for this book to come out. So next up is Batman Beyond number 1. I I've never been a huge fan of this Batman incarnation. I know a lot of people like it because of the animated series and stuff. I did enjoy his appearance in Future's End, so I'm going to check this out to see if I enjoy it. If it catches my interest enough, then hey, maybe it'll end up on my pull list. Next up is Batmite #1. Yeah, this is a miniseries, 1 of 6, so it's cool that it's a miniseries. I'm going to check out issue 1 to see if I'm interested in continuing, but it's Batmite. I'm not a big, huge fan of Batmite, so we'll see. Next up is Big Man Plans #3 of 4. Really kind of solid miniseries from Image. Last issue came out in April, at the beginning of April, so we've again waited 2 whole months for for this book to come out. But hey, what can you say? But I've enjoyed it so far, and so I'm going to keep going with it. Then next up we have another new DC #1, which is Bizarro #1 of 6. And again, this is another miniseries that they're saying is a miniseries, which I think is kind of cool for certain characters, just to kind of put the miniseries out there. Because before they were just kind of doing, oh yeah, this is an ongoing series, and then they cancel it like after 6, 8, 12 issues. So I kind of like that they're taking some characters like Batmite and Bizarro and saying, we're doing a miniseries. Not just something that needs to have, oh, it's going to be an ongoing book. If it keeps going, then they'll have another Bizarro book. So yeah, we'll see. Next up is another Secret Wars book, Future Imperfect #1. Future Hulk. We'll see if it ties in very well with what's going on in Secret Wars. The next up we have Giant Size Little Marvel AVX. I got it just to see what it was all about, but I highly doubt it's going to tie in very well. Next up we have a new #1 from Marvel, which is interesting that it's coming out during Secret Wars. Is Groot #1. It's weird, this cover makes him look like he's pregnant. Who knows? So I'm going to check that out, see how it goes. But Groot #1. Hopefully the book is not just filled with I am Groot. Even though if it was, as long as the art tells a story, who cares? Next up we have Midnighter #1 by Steve Orlando. I'm going to give it a try, check it out. It feels like a Grayson book, which it most likely is. So we'll see. But my buddy Mitchell on Twitter actually tweeted that Orlando should check us out, Ryan and I out, because we're really cool guys on a podcast, and he should talk to us. And he tweeted back saying, I'll do it. So maybe we'll get an interview with the guy. Who knows? But we'll see. And we'll see if I like it. Next up, we have Secret Wars #3 of 3. Black Suit Spider-Man. You have some competition for the Jazz Hands cover. This is FF, Ultimate FF, and regular FF. So 616 in the Ultimate Universe. Reed Richards giving you Jazz Hands cover. Whatever. We'll see if Secret Wars 3 is as good as Secret Wars 2. Next up, we have Secret Wars Battle World #2. I wasn't really impressed with the first issue, but I think this is a whole bunch of just random stories from the Secret Wars Battle World thing. So yeah, so I'm going to check it out, see if it is any good. If it's not, I'm going to stop. Next up, we have Star Wars #6. Really been enjoying Jason Aaron's Star Wars book. Can't wait to read this. It's just good stuff. And if that wasn't enough Star Wars for you, you have Star Wars Darth Vader #6 is out this week, so you can read up on Darth Vader. Yeah, awesome. I've been enjoying it. It's been good. It's hilarious that issue #2 is going for so much money because it's the first appearance of that girl. Then everyone's like, oh my god, she probably has something with the movie and blah, 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 blah. I'm like, whatever. You guys just need to stop. But yeah. Then next up we have Star Wars Princess Leia #4. So if you want, this is not the best one out of the 4 books that are out right now, but I'm still checking it out to see how it goes. I'll finish up and then I have something to comment about all the books that came out. Wonder Woman Annual #1. I've been enjoying Wonder Woman so far, so I'm going to see how the annual does. But yeah, enjoying it. I haven't read Wonder Woman since the beginning. It's only since the creative team changed the Fitches that I've been reading it. Next up we have Exting Agenda #1, the Secret Wars book from Marvel. Marvel is pumping out a huge amount of X-Men titles with this Secret Wars thing because they know X-books sell. I was not impressed with Inferno last week. It was complete garbage. So I do not have any hopes for any of these other X titles that are coming out. But the next one and the last one on the list is Years of Future Past. So we'll see how this one goes. Overall, I have not been impressed with the Secret Wars tie-ins. The Secret Wars series itself. Zero was just a recap with that whole Free Comic Book Day issue, which was nice, but I felt like it didn't really do much. Secret Wars 1 felt like it should have been the end of an Avengers book, which is Marvel suffered with Infinity in that aspect of they take these Hickman events, or these Hickman events that should happen in Avengers books, and make them happen over the entire universe, and so it kind of lessens the event itself. But Secret Wars 2 was really, really amazing, and I really got interested in it, but Secret Wars still doesn't have it doesn't know what it wants to do. Taking all these different what if periods or story arc periods from the Marvel universe and saying, oh, this is now a world in this bigger world, doesn't mesh very well to me, in that it doesn't feel like it's connected. The Planet Hulk book felt connected to Secret Wars, but the Secret War Journal didn't feel connected to Secret Wars at all. You have books like Inferno, which don't feel connected at all to anything, and then you have Old Man Logan, which is a great Old Man Logan kind of continuation story, but it feels like it's a continuation story that Secret Wars is tacked onto. So I would like the old Logan stuff to continue, but it continuing in Secret Wars doesn't really make any sense. So this week's books, I'm curious to see which ones kind of make the grade for kind of connecting to the Secret Wars universe, and that's, Doctor Doom's Battle World. So yeah, but we'll see. As for all the books that came out this week, there was a lot of books that came out this week, and specifically a lot of Marvel books that came out this week. And the Marvel books had so many goddamn variants. You had 3 Star Wars books that came out that had a ton of variants for those. All the Secret Wars books had a ton of variants. We had so many variants on the shelf, it was ridiculous. So I don't personally get any of the Marvel variants. There's been a few that have been cool, but I haven't picked them up. But do check them out at your local shop to see if it's something that you would like, but you don't have to buy it per se. So yeah, that's about it. I did end up getting statue season is starting this year, and I did this beautiful Harley Quinn statue behind me came in this week, and I can't wait to open it up and check it out. I have tried to make opening videos for statues, but I haven't been able to get them up, and I haven't figured out exactly how I'm going to do it or lay it out. So hopefully down the road I can start doing that for you guys. But yeah. So thanks again for watching. Please like, share, subscribe this. If you've already gone down to your local shop and you're like, oh, well, you should have. I'm sorry. I'm going to try and get back on schedule with this, but it's been a weird couple of weeks. So yeah. Please follow me on Twitter. My handle is @BrockSager. You can also hear me on the Comic Conspiracy podcast, which we record every Tuesday night, and it goes up every Tuesday night. You can get that at www.geekbox.net or through iTunes, or there's a couple other avenues that you can go through. But yeah, check out geekbox.net for that information. You can help us out with the Comic Conspiracy podcast through Patreon at www.patreon.com/comic conspiracy, or you can just go to Patreon and search Comic Conspiracy, and you can help us out that way. We do appreciate our Patreon backers, and we do thank you very, very much for your help every month, for supporting us in what we do here. Also, I would like to say that school is going to end for me. Work school is going to end for me at the end of this week, so I'm going to be on summer schedule, which means I'll be working at the shop more, which means hopefully I'll have some more time to do some stuff. So be cautious, or just be on the lookout for maybe some more content from my channel here on YouTube. You can find this video on my channel on YouTube, or you can also go to conspiratorbrock.com, where I post the actual print, or an actual physical list of what I have, what I pick up every week, plus also links for the digital versions that you can get through. If you get through Comixology through those links, that helps the Comics Conspiracy store. So this Yeah, I need to go set this up and get it all loaded. But thanks again for watching, and I will see you next week.